Hello and welcome back to another episode of Project Oarai. And I'm finally back. It's taken a while. My throat isn't like a chainsaw anymore. I'm back to, no more headaches constantly, no more feeling ill. So yeah, I'm back. We're finally back at it again in City Skylines, building something that isn't just farmland. So I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, so for the first part of this episode, I'm just going to be placing down some houses along the back road and the main road that leads through this, like, port town kind of area. So there's going to be some houses, there's going to be a few commercial buildings because I felt like it could do with a few more, to be honest. I know we've got all the commercial buildings near the cable car, and along that stretch that just comes over the bridge, there's them ones there. But I felt like it could do with a few more, to be quite honest. So we're just going to be placing them along this little stretch, along with like a nice little restaurant that you can see right now. Looks like it'd be quite nice to eat at. And then I was trying to wrestle with the idea of how do I build houses behind this without doing really big roads everywhere and it kind of just looking like it's all clumped together. So I had a look on Google Earth and I saw that in a lot of places like this, they kind of just have a very thin road, or it's just a path, to be honest, on some of them. And they've just got like houses like slotted down them, really tightly packed together. Because they waste no spaces over there. So I tried to do a similar thing, but I was wrestling with the idea of how I was going to go about doing it. And I tried doing roads, and there are some Japanese roads that are really nice and small and thin, and I tried putting some of them in and then putting down some houses off camera and just trying to get like the general feel for it. And I also tried with a footpath as well. And the one with the road did look quite nice, but it just felt odd every time I was looking at it, even though it did look quite nice. So I went with my gut on it and I just decided to do the footpath instead. And I'm happy with how it turned out. There are a few things I do think I could have improved on it though. I've done the paths a bit too thick compared to what I've seen. I've seen that they're normally quite small and narrow, whereas I've done mine a little bit chunky and wide. So at least in the future, I didn't really notice at the time when I was building, funnily enough, but the more I look back on it now, I'm like, yeah, they're a bit chunky and all over the shop, but it's kind of my first time even building something like this, so I'm not going to punish myself too much, but it's been a little bit of practice for eventually when we get to a city, and I'll probably have to do something very similar to this. So yeah, it's been a good little trial and error. Now, I know I said in the, well, actually, I didn't say anything in my last episode, because I really just wasn't well enough and just didn't feel up for talking, to be honest. But I did put in the title, building the last bit of farmland, and I'm so sorry I did end up lying to you. I actually built some more in this episode. I'm so sorry. But you're going to be able to see it later on. Now, it does look really nice, but I did completely forget about this area until I looked on Google Earth and I was like, oh, wait, we've got a little bit more to do. And I know I've got a problem with rice fields. And I know they've got some sort of hold over me because every time I'm building, I'm like, oh, some fields might look pretty good here. So I am aware, but I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. Now, I've been looking more around the map, and we're very close right now to the top of the mountain, building the hot springs finally. But we are about, what are we about? We're about 2 episodes away, maybe. We've got over the bridge to the left of this area that we're working on at the moment. Now, that is going to be the last bit of the area, to be honest. Other than that, it's going to be decorating the mountain. Now, I'm not sure if the mountain is going to be done in 1 episode or 2 episodes, and the only reason why I say 2 episodes is because there are a few houses dotted on the road going up. Not a lot of them, just like 2 or 3, if that. But I've also been wrestling with the idea of trying to do like a landslide on one of the parts of the road, so it looks like it's been closed, damaged. I'm not sure how I'm gonna go about doing it, but I wanted the mountain to, you know me, I like to do points of interest in certain places, and I was thinking, how can I make the mountain interesting? How can I make it just not a copy and paste of some trees, some bushes, some mud, and that's just it? So I figured, how about we try and do like some sort of landslide, like kind of towards the top of it, where it'd be at like its highest. I'm still wrestling with the idea now, so I'm just kind of talking for the sake of talking. But yeah, that's my idea. Somewhere up the mountain, it's going to be a landslide, or maybe I can use PO to make it look like the road's been damaged, or it's just totally fell down the side of the mountain. I don't know. I'd have to have a look at these ideas. But yeah, this is what I'm tinkering with in my head at the moment. Even though we're nowhere near the mountain. Well, I say we're nowhere near. We're just like 2 episodes away. 1 episode. I don't know. I'd say 1 episode, just over the bridge. Do that in 1 episode and then to the mountain. So yeah, we're 1 episode away from the mountain. And the landslide, possibly. So yeah. And on that note, I don't think there's anything else I've really got to say. Yeah. Oh, yes, there is actually, before I go. Now, I have included 1 or 2 cinematics of like some Christmas trees, and I know I put some up on the community section on YouTube. Now, you're not going to see any of that get built in this episode. And that is because I wasn't really aware that there was any Christmas stuff even on the workshop until I looked after I'd already built this area. And I thought, wow, that'd kind of look nice in this area because we've got the hot springs at the top of the mountain, we've got the snowy peaks, and well, it's kind of close to Christmas already. So why not try and throw a little bit of Christmas into some of the cinematics and some of the areas? So you will see in the next handful, or the next couple of episodes, you will see me putting some Christmas stuff in. But for this one, you're not going to see any, sadly, because I put it in afterwards. Anyways, I'm going to leave you with the rest of the episode. I hope you enjoy, and like always, I'll see you all in the next one.